BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by...
I want to retire knowing we did it right. We want
to know that it's been worth something.
It's worth everything.
Be intentional about your worth. Farmers National Bank Wealth Management.
Right now, we're in the stage where everything is being buttoned up, which is a very good stage to be in, which means once we get all of the finish work on the plaster done, which will come within the next 2 to 3 weeks, then we start finishing up the paint and we start putting on all of the finish work. So we're really in a good spot right now overall, maybe about a week to 2 weeks behind schedule, but we should gain that back here about in the next, I'd say next 3 weeks, we'll gain that week to 2 weeks back. The seats will be here November 1st. They are actually done. They are sitting in storage in Westlake, Ohio, and I've talked with the company. November 1st, they will start the install, and it should take about 10 days to get everything down. We had a very good shell to work with, but overall there was a lot of degradation after 45 years of non-use. We had water damage that we had to deal with, so our entire breadth was pretty big. We had to come in and redo a lot of plaster work. Probably 85 to 95% of the plaster had to in some way be either redone, touched up, or something like that. And of course, painting and finish work is basically 100%. We did have an HVAC system that was intact and in place, which helped a great deal. And the electrical system, by today's demands for shows, that was very big. So we had to change out the entire electrical system in the entire building.
Tell us about the first wave of the entertainment lineup.
Very diversified. We have big band, we have comedy, like a little bit of kind of country and old school music. Very diverse lineup, very, very diverse lineup where we won't get buttonholed into any one kind of entertainment.
Sunrise Entertainment knows what they're doing. Partnership with Kent Stage is fantastic. I love the lineup. I think it's fantastic. The very first night we're going to have that local flair, and then we go back to the 1920s, which I think is apropos because it's the 97th birthday. It was built in 1922 and 1923, so I think it's a perfect start to what I think is going to be a fantastic lineup, not only for the first couple of months, but ongoing. And it's not going to be a lot of tribute bands like you see at River Rock. We're going to get the real thing in here, and I think once they see this venue, everybody's going to want to play it.
There's all the parking you can imagine. First of all, the parking deck has 300 and some spaces. Right next to it is the atrium parking lot with like 100 and some spaces. The city, in partnership with Sunrise Entertainment and the Robbins Theater, the downtown development, the Gibson building, which is where the Social Security office is. So a lot of parking spaces. Across the street from there with the Veterans Building, huge spaces there. And we have all the streets. Remember, we had River Rock at the Amp. We get 5,000-6,000 people. Never have a problem parking. Remember, most of these, 99% of these shows are at night. When the downtown kind of empties out, we'll have all the parking you want. But we will have a lot of shuttles so that people can get in and out. So it's very important.
We've been fortunate enough to be able to open up 2 restaurants and a winery in downtown on some of our properties, and they're going strong. The amount of people downtown is unbelievable. And now you're going to add about another 1,350 people, maybe 2-3 times a weekend and during the week. When you do that, those people will spill into the streets. They're going to look for a place to eat, look for a place maybe to go for a cup of coffee and a piece of cake, or maybe an after-dinner drink or an after-show drink. So I think this is really the pinnacle to bringing downtown Warren back.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by...
I want to retire knowing we did it right. We want
To know that it's been worth something.
it's worth everything.
Be intentional about your worth. Farmers National Bank Wealth Management.